This math in minute video is on graphing the sine function. So here you have the sine graphing equation. Y equals A sine bx minus c plus d. So let's look at what each of the alphabet equals. A is your amplitude. That tells you how high and how low from the midline you will go on the graph. B is calculating the period, and a period is one cycle. So you would use the formula period equals 2 pi over the value of b to determine the period. C is the phase shift, and that will tell you the starting point from left to right. You can shift either to your left or to your right based on the number in C. And D is your midline. That is the middle of the graph. It's also called the vertical shift, and that is the starting point from which your amplitude will go up and then down. So if we take a look at this equation, we can determine what our values are. So our amplitude is equal to 3. The value for b is equal to 1 because there's nothing in front of the x, so we know that is equivalent to 1. So from our b, we can distinguish what our period is, and our formula for period is equal to 2 pi over b. So that would be over 1. So our period is 2 pi. Our C value, which tells us our phase shift, is pi over 2. So we're going to shift to the right, pi over 2. And then our value for our midline is going to be 1. D is equal to 1. So let's graph it with the information that we have now. So the information we have is the aptitude is 3, the period is 2 pi, the phase shift is pi over 2, and then the midline or the vertical shift is 1. So what we're going to do first is we have our periods in intervals of a fourth. So we have pi over 2, pi, 3 pi over 2, 2 pi, and 5 pi over 2. We know our midline is at 1. So I'm going to put 1 there, and this would be our midline. So our amplitude will start at that point and go up to its highest point and also down from that midline to its lowest point. Phase shift. So we're going to start at the midline at pi over 2 because that's what our phase shift says. Then we are going to go up. This is positive 3 because the amp says it's 3. So we're going to go 2, 3, 4. So over the pi, we would have our highest point. Then we're going to go back to the midline at 3 pi over 2. And then we're going to go down 3 positions, our amplitude says. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Our x at, this would be negative 2. And then we're going to go back up to the midline here. And we can start one of the cycles at pi over 2 and follow it to pi and down to 2 pi and back up to pi, 5 pi over. And this is continuous, but this is just one of the cycles. So that's how you would graph it. Our amplitude went up here. That's 2, 3, 4. That's 3 positions up. And then 0, negative 1, negative 2. This is that lowest point there. Our shift, we went over. We started at pi over 2. And the period was a length of 2 pi. And we had our midline or our vertical shift here at 1. So that's how you would graph. Any math topics you would like me to cover, please leave in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, and we'll see you next time.